pull it up for the fans' sake. And as somebody who has grown up in a predominantly just African-American culture, I apologize.
Now, this what the fuck? This motherfucker said he grew up in Wakanda.
Dude.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab.
Shit. Yeah, I have not been drinking all day, just to answer your question. I have not been drinking all day.
Look, y'all heard it here first. You heard what he said. Say it one more time.
I have not.
You can't even get it out because you know how much bullshit it is.
No, it's not bullshit. It's only funny because, unfortunately, this is becoming a thing. I have not been drinking all day. I actually did a lot of errands today. Went to the grocery store, went to Target, did this, did that. I did stop in for 2 adult beverages.
You still go to the grocery store? Ugh, what are you fucking...
I live in
19th century fucking...
Yeah, I live in a pre-2020.
Yeah, you're a 20th century bum.
Yeah.
Fucking going to the grocery store.
Instacart
the grocery store comes to me.
Instacart can be a little expensive.
Instacart? Well, who's doing Instacart?
I'm just saying.
Amazon Fresh, friend.
Well, I think my mom uses that too. My mom has more apps than I do things on my wall in my room.
You don't need an app to go to do the Amazon Fresh. You just go to your browser.
I am learning something new every day here, folks. Bruh. On this podcast.
No, he's not learning something new. He's learning how to use the fucking internet. What the fuck? You type in an address to a website.
I get that.
Hold on. No, don't cut me off.
I'm not cutting you off.
You did. You just cut me off. You type in the web address of the website that you would like to go to. Somehow, some way, the magic powers of the internet, the World Wide Web, figure out which destination you want to get to from what destination you're at.
That is correct.
Therefore, it brings up the images and the text that you need and all the other background services that need to run so you can make your purchases online. You don't need an app to do this.
Okay. So, folks, I am learning at 34 years of age how to use the World Wide Web.
I got to change the fucking title again. Why did it? Oh, because I know why. It's in the other one.
But that's okay because on the World Wide Web, you know what else is there? Us. Yes. Jared and myself bringing you another jam-packed episode of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast. 156.
What up, folks? All the folks in the building already. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? Yeah, sorry, I'm a fucking drunken belligerent. And
agreed.
Okay, so since Jared agrees and everybody's here, first and foremost, the first thing I wanted to talk about today, the most important thing that me and you need to discuss is, with a heavy heart, Kevin Conroy has passed away.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So for those who don't know who Kevin Conroy is the voice actor who portrayed the Dark Knight, also known as Batman, Bruce Wayne, in the animated series, the Arkham video game series, and, spin-offs and movies. The voice of a generation has passed away, and I will tell you, I was deeply upset by it. I didn't cry or anything like that, but it just stinks because Batman is cool. Kevin Conroy is cool. And I will say, as a young man, and Kevin Conroy's voice and his portrayal of Batman was my first introduction to the Dark Knight himself. So
what?
Yeah.
The fuck is?
Yeah. I'm
gonna change this somewhere else because it's not working.
So,
you only wait. See, you're lying to yourself.
No. I'm not lying. So
hold on. You're lying to yourself. So you're telling me you saw the animated series before you saw Batman with Michael Keaton?
It's very possible. I mean, dude, I was a kid. Remember, I was born in '88.
Okay, but then wasn't Batman Returns out before that?
I believe Batman Returns is 91 or 92, if I'm
Let's
not
look
mistaken.
these dates up.
Yeah,
This
please.
sounds.
Now, granted,
I'm gonna get to 156. Relax, guy. Go.
Now, granted, I was so young that if one became before the other, I cannot remember. But what I can distinctly remember is coming home after school every day, and you put Fox on. You got X-Men, Spider-Man, and then Batman. Okay, that was my true introduction to the Dark Knight and Bruce Wayne, and just everything wonderful about Gotham City and all that. And I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of comic book fans, a lot of fans in general. May that man rest in peace. Thank you so very much for being an important part of my childhood. I was very devastated when I saw that. So in honor of that, gentleman.
Sorry, Hollywood. Mr. Freeze was not the first. It might have been for you.
Mr. Freeze in terms of...
That was, what was that? Yeah, which Mr. Freeze?
Well, I mean, it depends on which movie, how
First
you're
of all, I'm older, but however, again, you have the comic books. You could have been introduced there. That's where everybody all of a sudden, when this new movie came out, everybody's like, oh my God, why is he being a detective? He's not being Batman. Fucking Batman. It even says on the comic book, the world's greatest detective. He's a fucking detective.
Yeah, and here, hold on.
He's a rich detective. So let's fucking get that back into our brains. Number 2, Adam West, my friend, was Batman long before that.
Oh, no, I understand that, but I'm just saying in that time period.
You're a fucking child.
I am a child, and I am
He was right. He was right. Batman Returns with the Penguin and Catwoman.
91?
I didn't look up the year, but...
No, but I understand that movie came out before the animated series started. However...
So you got introduced by a cartoon to Batman.
As far as I can remember, yes, initially. Wow. Not to say that I didn't see those films, but again, I was very young. So if one came before the other,
whatever.
My bad.
I'm still offended.
I've got a beer open. Rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. The bat signal is up for you. We love you. Cheers.
Yeah. I know the movie was before. Like I said, it was. Well, the comic books. I think there was even one before the Adam West series, which I think originally was a movie, and then they chopped it down into, or they made it into a series
after, I guess the initial first movie.
Yeah,
we're okay.
And then, after that, it was Michael Keaton, and the first Batman was what was it called? Just Batman, right?
Yeah, Batman.
And then
those movies are by far super awesome. By the way,
yes, I know I'm right. That's what I'm just saying.
It's never wrong, folks.
I am. People keep saying, "Oh, he can never be wrong." That's fucking bullshit. Because I will concede if I know that for a fact that I'm wrong, I'll concede. But if I know for a fact in my head for sure that I'm right, I'm not going to give the point.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason to. What?
But I'm just saying Batman is by far my favorite superhero over anybody. The lore, Gotham City, the villains, whether it's the Joker, the Penguin, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Clayface, whomever it may be. It's just such an important part of me, of my childhood and things that I grew up. I had toys. I had the Bat Cave, the Batmobile. And yes, you can obviously point to the movies, Jared, which is fine. But my initial thought when this occurred was like, oh my God, the guy that I grew up watching be Batman has passed away. So bat signals up for you, sir. We will protect Gotham City.
Well, this might be an early joke, but the bat signal wouldn't work because he's not going to be able to come.
I know it's actually kind of funny. I don't want to let. But it just stinks because one of the first movies I saw in theaters as a kid was actually Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, which is a great animated movie. It's I would say about 90 minutes runtime. Just kind of typical. Maybe a little over an hour. But those were very important moments and memories for me as a kid. One, because I spent them with my dad. And then by the way, happy birthday, Dad, 65 years old. So it just like the whole week, it's just like I've just kind of been in a nostalgic kind of mood. And it's terrible. So to all the fans and everything, like we are there with you. We are there with you. But on a lighter note, on something that I wanted to publicly announce here on the Mad Scientist Lab podcast while Jared is here.
Oh, my God. I wish you had run this by me before you decided.
No, don't worry. I would never do anything to make us look bad, even though I do it all the time without intentionally doing it.
Go ahead.
I wanted to wish you a happy Veterans Day, man.
Oh my God.
And thank you for and thank you for
okay.
You thought I was going to come out as gay, potentially. But anyway, Jared, happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. And
those some cool emojis.
Is it the running dog?
No, well, he did that earlier.
Oh yes, the running dog is there. It's the greatest emoji of all time.
Harley Quinn, the Joker, Catwoman.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah. Cheers to the Dark Knight, man. But seriously, man, I know I texted you yesterday. I texted our good friend Jay Joseph and just a very small other group of people who that I personally know that have served the country, and thank you for your service. I'm serious.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure. And I actually wanted to talk to you about something else, and you're going to think it's weird, but it kind of ran through my head. I was like, I wonder if Jared does this. But go ahead.
You talking about the food thing going all over town and shit?
Well, no, because I know that's a thing that where you guys can go from restaurant to restaurant and get.
Thank you. Let me talk about this.
Once a Marine, always a Marine.
No, it's not even that.
Oh, okay. I love you.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I really can't say because other people may feel differently. Thank you for the. I don't know. It's just
Does it bother you that people thank you on today instead of any other day out of the year? Is that what that is?
That might be part of it.
Okay.
It's like the Valentine's Day thing for me. It's like, now you want to fucking show me you fucking respect the shit that I did?
Well, I feel like
or didn't do or whatever.
I feel like certain holiday, I feel like any holiday where it celebrates love, in any capacity, whether it's Thanksgiving, getting around.
Yeah, but
together.
you don't have to pick a specific day to do it like that. Everybody feels like, I don't know.
But I was
it's just like a reminder. It's like a Facebook reminder or something. Shit.
No, but I was saying I agree with you because the holidays, you don't see your family all year. You sit down and eat, and then turd together afterwards for one time. Oh, I love you.
Okay,
I love you too.
First of all, no one does that.
What, turds together?
They don't fucking say I love you after fucking eating Thanksgiving dinner.
No, nobody does. Most of it is belching and a lot of passing
watching
of gas.
movies or some shit. Like, first of all, you're shitting on Thanksgiving, which is my favorite holiday.
I love Thanksgiving,
before, but don't shit on it.
I'm not. I love Thanksgiving.
Okay, you're a little Christmas guy.
No, actually, I prefer Thanksgiving to Christmas simply because I don't know. I feel. That's a good question. I don't know why I like it more, but I prefer Thanksgiving to Christmas. Yes, you get gifts. I understand as a child.
You don't get gifts as an adult anymore.
I don't get anything in general as an adult anymore.
There you go.
I don't even have gas in my car. So if we go out tonight, we're going to be pushing. Push party. So.
There's a gas station literally.
No, don't worry. We will get some gas. It's okay. No, but if I had to pick between the two, this
is why me and Epic get along.
What did he
Thanksgiving say? Equals the best of the best.
I agree.
Okay, I'm not saying what I'm just saying. It's just
so Thanksgiving is amazing. One, the family aspect. Two, you got food, all sorts of food. Whether you got your ham, your turkey, your fucking greens, your cranberry sauce, your gravy, your potatoes, whatever.
Potatoes.
I'm sorry, that's how I say it.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
I want some potatoes over here.
Yeah. I actually had some potatoes
Put
earlier.
some potatoes on grinding. Can I get some potatoes on grinding over here?
Dude. I like potatoes.
Potatoes over here.
And it's crazy. The other day, I was thinking to myself, I was like, there's no way. When you make fun of me, right?
Look, Hollywood said the same thing I said.
When you say so when you make fun of me and some of the things I say, like how I talk about certain foods and like my pasta salad or whatever it is, how how I enunciate things. I'm thinking like, yo, Jared's fucking
Pronounce.
tripping. Yeah, how you pronounce things. And I'm thinking, I don't talk like that. And there's no way. So
Potatoes?
Yes.
It's almost a potatoes, baby.
So I think it was. So
I don't know if you're from fucking New York or you're from fucking down south.
Dude,
Potatoes, baby.
But it was Monday or Tuesday. I took off work for my dad's birthday, to take some time off. And I come downstairs.
Welcome to the internet.
And you're on the internet. So my mom was like, hey, I'm going to make this, this, and that. I was like, oh. She was like, I think I'm going to make a baked potato. And I was like, say it again. Like, I had her say it again. I was like, Mom, say it again. She was like, a baked potato. And I was just like, okay. And I didn't say anything to her. I just went upstairs. I sat down, and I thought, holy shit, Jared's right. I sound exactly like my mother. I don't even mean to at all.
Well, no, you're around it. That's what's going to happen.
I don't even mean to. And, dude, I'm not even, like, hardcore Italian. I'm, like, Italian, but I'm not, like, Guido with the grease and... Oh, my God, I have grease in my hair. I have Ray-Bans on. Holy shit, that's kind of crazy.
And you wear wife beaters with chains.
I don't wear wife beaters with chains. I
You're
wear wife
fucking
beaters.
lying now.
I wear wife beaters, but I don't wear my chain. I wear my chain when I go. I don't have it on today. Here, let me take my.
No. I don't care about the lanyard.
Dude. Oh, hold on. Oh my God. It's stuck right there. So we'll just leave that right
what
there.
She said.
Yes.
I think.
I don't know, but I realized I sound a lot more like my mother than I really intend to. I mean,
that's DNA, brother.
I get it.
And you're around it all the time.
But at the same time, sometimes I'm sitting there and, dude, it's crazy. So my mom made these baked potatoes and she was like, oh, I've got broccoli and cheese and this. And I was like, I don't need all that. I was like,
why not?
Well, because I ate like twice before.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Last week you said you were the one that was going to be making baked potatoes.
I was.
And now you're making me say baked potatoes.
Dude, potatoes. No, I brought it up to I did not make the potatoes. My mother did. Because you know me, I'm lazy. I don't do it. Look at my basement. Look at my home. I don't upkeep it whatsoever.
We all know.
All right, I finally admitted it after 156 episode of the Mad Scientist Live podcast. But, so, my mom, I'm thinking, I only wanted one, dude. You only need one. My mom, she'll do it to you, too. I swear to God, Jared, I'm not lying. She comes upstairs. She said, hey, food's done. I said, hey, I'll be down in a minute because I'm playing Xbox and, being a man-child, obviously. Mm-hmm. And then I hear a knock on my door. And I'm thinking it's my sister. And I'm like, hey, what do you want? She's like, oh, hey, it's me. I want to come in. So my mom walks into my room because, again, I'm a big man-child. Love you, Mom. And my mom has this massive bowl, dude, of 3 baked potatoes. And there's broccoli and cheese all over them. Mm-hmm. And I said, Ma, I can't eat all this. Dude, I was intimidated by it. And I can eat, a good portion.
You put some meat on your bones.
She said, eat what you can. She said, don't worry about it. So I take the first, I wait a couple minutes. I let it cool off. I got my broccoli and cheese and my potato on my fork. And I'm blowing on it. I've got my mic muted at the time.
Pause.
I am blowing on the potatoes. The baked potatoes. I take a bite, and I'm like, this isn't too bad. Jared, when I say I probably finished a little more than 3/4 of that bowl, I was shocked because it was just that good. And I felt so bad after eating it because before that, during the day, I had 2 bowls of spaghetti. Okay. I'm not making this up.
I'm not to say you were making it up. It's just,
dude,
that's a lot of carbs, my friend.
Dude, what you're talking? You want
not the good kind either.
No, not at all. I mean, cheers, But so football was on. The Steelers didn't play last week, so I said, "Hey, let me watch the Commanders."
They should never play it any week.
We're gonna beat the Saints tomorrow, and we're gonna go to the wild card.
Good luck on that one.
Yeah, I know. I'm lying to myself. It's okay, but it's okay. And Epic sends me memes all the time to remind me how awful I am. Thank you, sir.
Well,
but
he can't really talk.
They're having obviously the one off season in the century as well.
One off.
But I look at it this way: when any aging quarterback, and
that's what I'm saying. It's not one off. This is probably going to be the next few years.
Actually, I wanted to tell you something. I thought about this earlier today when I was talking to somebody. They're like, hey, man, did you watch this game last week, this and that? And I was like, no. I was like, but I did watch this game. So last week, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay, played the Rams, who are the defending Super Bowl champions. And everybody knows I am obviously not the biggest fan of Tom Brady by any means. I am the first person.
You don't have to preface every time you talk about Tom Brady with that. We know that.
I'm just saying for the
we know you a loser that doesn't like greatness. But
I just like licking my own balls.
Clearly.
But anyway, so last week
around your cat too much.
Oh, I got a story about that too.
Okay, go,
anyway,
go.
So I'm watching the end of the game last week, and granted, I'm watching it on my phone underneath my TV while I'm playing Xbox with my good pal Al, who's at I believe a wedding.
Underneath.
Yeah, so it just sits like a little underneath my TV, or the screen, I should say. So I'm watching the game. I'm kind of, just because I love football, I want to see what's going on. So the Tampa Bay is down. I can't remember the score, but it was less than a touchdown. I think it was like 4 points. With less than a minute on the clock, Tom Brady went down the field.
So you mean he did Tom Brady things? Is that what you're saying?
He did.
Okay.
He did. And I think for the first time this season, and I think for the first time in my life,
because he's back, bitches.
I sat there and I watched that drive, and I'm thinking, there's no way he's going to pull this off. But I was like, if anybody's going to pull it off, it's Tom. And Tom Brady, with no timeouts, with less than a minute on the clock, went 70 yards and won the game. And that right there kind of hit me for a second. I was like, man, you know what?
Jared's right.
This guy is the best to ever fucking step on a football field. And it just hit me at like a ton of bricks. It hit me.
You know
like
what, guys? We're just going to go ahead and stop the show today because RJ finally realized what I've been saying this whole fucking time.
Well, I think what it is, I think the reason I admired it so much is because obviously recently his personal life has been in the public view, with his divorce and everything and the team not doing so well. And I'll be the first person to put it this way. The Steelers have 2 wins this season. One of them is against Tom Brady, okay? And it's like, okay, if my wishy-washy team is beating this version of Tom Brady, one, is it a win? Of course. But I didn't beat Tom. I didn't beat the Tom Brady. I was like, what is this guy doing? He should be kicking my ass. I literally woke up that day expecting that guy to go in and just torch my team. And he didn't. And then a couple weeks later, I sit there and I watch the guy who just surpassed 100,000 passing yards.
Most of all time.
Which will never be done again. Will never.
That's not true.
I mean, in our lifetime, maybe when we're old, dude, 100,000.
We'll be old. But it could happen because the game is passing. It's a passing league.
The game is played a lot differently, obviously, when he initially got in the league. I agree. However, 100,000 passing yards is just a phenomenal feat. And just watching him, knowing how bad the team was doing, how much of his personal life is in the public eye, he still went out there and he said, you know what? I'm going to win this fucking football game. And he did. And
Now, see, again, this goes back to what I've been saying all along. This is when it takes times like that for the average Joe to realize what's happening. This man is such a great person, and you're luckily alive to see it happening because you'll never see somebody like that again, especially a 6th-round draft pick.
Oh, dude, trust me. I know what Tom has done for a game.
Playing for 20-plus years and still fucking playing at the highest level the game has available, even higher. He's elite of the elite.
I mean,
and still, in spite of the shit that goes on in his life, that's what competitors and champions do. They just fucking, no matter what's fucking going on, they do the shit. And this is what I'm trying to tell you when it comes to like this shit.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm saying, as somebody who, look, man, my team is obviously in the AFC. Tom Brady's been a pain in my ass my entire life. I don't know who's saying, is it phobia? Is phobia here?
No, it's epic.
Oh, good. But I will say,
you don't have your shit up again.
Oh no! I don't.
Oh my God.
Because I was so upset about Kevin
everybody
Conroy
else can. You know what? Here's the fun part about it. I'm gonna not read them anymore. because you have the availability, and so does everybody else. Whoever's watching has the availability to see what's being said.
You hear that, folks? Listen to Jared.
And when the recording comes out, everyone has the availability to see what's being said. So we're going to let you be the oddball out, and we'll just be laughing at you, not with you.
I get laughed at all the time.
We know.
It's pretty terrible, but it's okay. It's all right.
That is funny, Epic, though. That is funny.
But I think for a good moment, I was like, there you go, Tom. I was like, that's the Brady that whooped my ass all the time. And I just felt like he was sticking it to everybody when he did that. He just was like, you know what? Everybody's saying this, and that. Fuck you.
Yeah, but it's not going to be that one game. Right?
Actually,
I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be a nice little run coming.
No, I also feel that as well. I do, because that was the momentum shift of the season for that team, and we should be all very, very afraid.
I'm not afraid. I'm enjoying it.
But I will say, I was just like, yeah, there you go. Because one, as much as a competitor, as much as he's kicked my butt and I can trash him all the time, when your personal life is being dragged into your job and people are constantly poking at your personal life, especially with your wife, and nobody knows really what's going on.
Now, also, you're not everybody reads the comments and is on social media all the time like normal people are. So he might not even see half of that shit.
That's true, but I'm sure at some point in some time, somebody...
it probably does come across, but he's not paying attention to it.
Oh, no, dude. I mean, being in the league, being who he is, or any athlete, I mean, if you let it get to him...
I agree. I've been telling them for years, and I'm only drinking it because it's here. So just...
Budweiser is a very good beer, and all of you should...
Fucking disgusting.
You should bow down to greatness.
This is not Tom Brady.
Well, but it was just in that moment where I was like, you know what, this guy's been kind of being dragged all over the place. And it's like, at the end of the day, I was like, this guy has the most Super Bowl rings of anybody ever. Ever.
RJ's getting fired. Oh, that's what we need on here. Oh, that might get cut out, though.
It's all good. It's all good. But I had a moment of appreciation for Tom going down there and doing a very Tom Brady-like thing. I was like, that's how you do it, man. Go down there and be like, hey, you're making fun of me? Fuck you. I'll fuck your wife. Or your kids, I'll fuck your kids,
Okay. This sounds like some deep-rooted issues that RJ has with something.
That could be correct. However, I just thought it was really cool that he did that, and it just reminded me of why I enjoy watching that guy on the football field.
You know what? After all the years we've done this show and as many episodes as we have done, this is 156.
Yes.
You have finally turned the corner on Tom Brady.
Yeah, again.
It's fucking crazy.
I'm getting older, man. I think sobriety taught me a lot.
Oh, did it? What did it teach you?
Well, I don't know. Don't drink. But we're having a beer now, so the hell with that thought.
Never mind, I'm not even going to say where you were at.
Yeah.
Everybody knows where you were at.
I was only there for an hour. I was. Okay, maybe an hour and a half. But I only had 2 drinks the whole time. I'm telling you. Dude, I had so much shit going on today. I was so happy that it was Saturday. I was like, oh, bet. Then I had to go run around and do a ton of shit.
It was off 2 days this week.
Yeah, but for personal reasons, I don't really, especially something like that, I don't want to go out and shopping. I just want to sulk in my own pity for a while because I need to. It keeps me sharp. I know that sounds crazy, but it does.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
I told you need a hobby. You need a hobby.
Actually, so speaking of hobbies, before we continue any further with the Veteran Day thing, and thank you for everybody that has served.
Jesus Christ, we just did 20 minutes on Tom Brady, and now you want to go back to the
but what I wanted to bring up initially was, Jared, being a veteran, being somebody who served the country, are you the type of person to walk in somewhere, pay for something, and be like, hey, where's my military discount?
I don't do it, but I should do it way more often than I should.
Do you feel...
Than I do, I should say.
Do you feel something like that can be potentially abused? in terms of going around
I mean,
saying
people will find ways to abuse anything. But I personally feel like I don't use it enough.
well, I mean, that's fine, but I just wanted your opinion on it because
two things. Part of it, people who do abuse it may feel that, like, look, I already gave the ultimate sacrifice. Shit, those people who you don't know what's going on in their brains. They might have some kind of other injury.
Yeah, no, that is obviously very understandable.
But at the same time, they're still coherent enough to be like, look, I'm getting my fucking shit back. You know what I'm saying? Like, or something in return. Because at the end of the day, yeah, people will be like, different sides of the spectrum will be like, well, you volunteered for that. Well, true, but I still also signed my check on that, or signed my name on that bottom line saying that I would give my body to this country.
Yeah.
Which essentially it means that no matter if you're going to war or if you're being experimented on certain things that you might not even know you're being experimented on.
Yeah.
I won't go into things that were happening when I was in, but there was definitely experiments going on, and they. Let's put it this way: I'll equate it to, and this is why. This is getting into a deep political place. It goes into what just happened recently about with COVID-19 and all that stuff. There's a reason I was like, I'm good.
Well, and we can discuss that on, personal time.
I don't
know. That's fine.
Deep into
but,
that.
I think as somebody who, I work in the automotive business, and obviously there's a lot of money involved with it. So on a very
Ghost Chips, what up?
Common occasion, somebody will come in in their casual clothes and be like, hey, man, is it okay if I get my military discount? I don't ever ask for ID or anything like that. I mean, I trust people.
I think you should.
No.
Okay.
No.
Now we're getting into something different. Yes, that people can abuse it. But if you're just taking it on the kind-heartedness of someone saying, oh, I was in the military, can I get a military discount?
No, I can defend.
Then that's on you, not that person.
No, that's fine. I understand that. But what I'm saying is 9 times out of 10, if somebody tells me in the military, I can automatically tell that they are immediately. I don't think I've ever had a customer, whether here at my current job.
Wait. Even if they've been out for a while?
Yeah, just like their demeanor, like how they carry themselves and how they, I don't know. Again, if it's,
I don't know if you can tell that well, because I can barely tell sometimes.
I will say 8 out of 10 times the people that do ask me are in uniform.
Maybe in a
are in uniform, which is very, very easy. But if somebody comes up to me and just says, "Hey, is it okay if I get a military, my military discount?" and they're like, "Hey, I'll show you my ID," and say, "Hey, man, I'm going to take."
No, if they're being forthcoming, then that's different.
Yeah, no, but if somebody just comes up and says, "Hey, where's my military discount?" like blah blah, like it makes a big spiel about it. It's like, well, hold on, like.
Then I'd be like, where's your ID?
Yeah. Even when I was at Papa John's, we had military discounts.
Okay. How far do military discounts go when it comes to like how far out do you guys do at your current place? I don't care about Papa John's.
When you say how far out in terms of like how much money or how far, like branch military?
Yeah, no, how far out since they've been out?
Oh, no, I don't think there's a limit on that. I mean, dude, you could have served in fucking Vietnam, dude. You know what I mean?
I just feel like some places will be like, well, you've been out. Shit, I'll tell you, Navy Federal was that way. Because I was with them when I was in, and then something happened. I stopped. I wasn't able to put money into that account or something, and I don't remember what happened. But then when I tried to go back years later, I guess I was outside of my little range that I'm then they're like, well, do you have anybody that's family that's military or blah blah? I'm like, no, bitch. I'm fucking military.
Yeah, I'm a veteran at this. That's what that is for.
So that's what that kind of
well, that would upset me too.
That perturbed me, and fuck Navy Federal, by the way.
Yeah. Now, granted, in the last probably 15 years of my life, I've only worked at 2 jobs for the most part. So I've never really run into anybody that, I don't want to say abuses it, but I've never run into anybody that I would question like how long you've been in the service or how long you've been out of it. To me, as a citizen, I'm not in the military. If you've told me you serve this country, then okay, man, you could have done it. Last year you could have done it 40 years ago.
But there are people. Shit, I've been in relationships with people who have said they were like, "Well, you're not in the military, or you're not in the Marines anymore." I'm like, "Bitch, you obviously don't know what the fuck you're talking about." Like, once that is instilled in you, especially that's even the shit you walk in when you walk into Paris Island or wherever. If you're a West Coast Marine, then MCRD San Diego. As soon as you walk in, there's a big thing that when you get off that bus, or when you get off the bus, I don't know, you go under the thing, it says, as soon as you walk in, the change is forever. You're driving into boot camp seeing that shit. It's facts.
Yeah.
Because I am definitely not the same person that I was before I went in there.
Yeah.
And I would think that's for any branch of the military, aside from the Coast Guard. They're still, oh, sorry, what? Oh, never mind.
It's all right. I know that there's a whole, fun, poking fun at other branches.
Department of Transportation.
But anyway, but we support all veterans here on the Mad Scientist Live podcast, no matter what branch you are. So if you are out there and you have served this country, thank you so very, very much for your service and your contribution to society, which is actually currently crumbling, but that is okay. Thank you very much.
God, man, I keep hearing that.
So, and I know, well, I was only really making a joke.
I don't know if society. I've been watching a couple of things lately, and I thought that it was just me being, I don't know, maybe getting older or something. But I've started to think, and I'm starting to push back. We'll see how far I want to go into this.
That's fine.
I'm starting to push back on this reality, this adjustment of reality that's being pushed on us, that we have to cater to everyone and how they're feeling.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is, I agree with that. I think that is the norm.
I can barely handle how I'm feeling sometimes. And you think I'm going to fucking think about what you, and I'm not asking you your fucking pronouns.
Yeah.
Because that's not the English language.
Yeah.
If you want to be called Jay, or whatever,
yeah,
that's you, homie.
That's what I normally say when I'm drunk.
But I'm going to be like, I'll be respectful. I'm not going to call you out your name or nothing, but it's like, bro, like let's reel this back into reality.
Yeah.
Let's keep the English language. You know what I'm saying? Like let's do this the right way.
No, and that I agree with you, man, because we are people are testing the waters of some sort of new normal, so to speak, with those kinds of things.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm at the point now I'm pushing back on that so-called new normal. No,
dude, trust me, I might, maybe not in front of you, maybe not in front of our audience or whomever, but there are certain things, I'm a very easygoing guy. Me and you, we get along with damn near everybody. We're not very hard people to get along with. But after a certain point, certain things, when people say them and try to do them, it's just like, hey, don't you think that's a little excessive? Have you ever thought of it from this point of view?
I don't think, but that's the thing. That's the thing. They're only thinking of it from their own perspective, not other people's perspective, or not even other people, not even. Again, I've talked about it last week or maybe 2 weeks ago. Empathy, putting yourself in other people's shoes, and be like, oh, maybe I am being a little. It's just hard to explain, but maybe I am being slightly
contagious. Can we use that word? Contagious?
I think that's close. That's close. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, but close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I've been watching a lot of stuff recently. And it's just like, and it's not even the pronoun stuff. It goes into the Kanye Kyrie stuff.
Actually, I want to talk about that as well,
bruh. Okay, fine. You didn't like what was said in a certain movie, if you saw the movie or read the book. You didn't like because this person had an opinion of this movie, now you are trying to put it basically crucify him.
I think what people are doing to Kyrie Irving is completely terrible.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's. I think it's.
I'm even at this point. I'm willing to say Kanye also.
Yeah, I know he's a little harder because
it's harder to justify because of the track record. I agree with you. I agree with you.
But I don't know. Believe it or not, I actually don't know too much about the situation. However, I did just slightly kind of peek and gander just out of curiosity, and apparently, this movie that Kyrie is talking about.
I've been trying to find it. They're actually, again, this is the other problem I have with this.
So this movie,
go ahead.
Yeah. So this movie that he saw, which obviously kind of gave him some sort of opinion on it, which is completely fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
He spoke out about it, and now this guy is being legitimately crucified by the NBA. This is one of the reasons
and the
media, people, and I'm thinking, like, what the fuck did this guy say that's so bad that everybody saw? Did he call anybody a racial slur?
Nope.
Did he call anybody out by, in terms of religion? Like, he didn't do any of that. He simply just stated, he's like, hey, well, after watching this is how I think. And they're like, no, you can't say that. Why?
Yeah.
It's just not correct.
So
man. Whether even if I got the full butt of it,
let me pull this.
If I got the full brunt of it, okay, and I looked at it and I said, oh, you know what? I don't agree with Kyrie Irving, but I'm not going to go out and fucking ruin the guy's life.
Yeah,
they're tearing a black man down, dude. And they're tearing. I
wasn't gonna say that, but I'm glad you did. But I wasn't even gonna go into that.
No,
because for me, it's not even about that.
It's not about race for me. Hold on. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Let me get in here. It's not because I wanna make sure that anyone listening or who potentially may listen, understands what I'm trying to say here.
Of course,
I'm not trying to make it a black thing, although it is. In my own head, but I leave that aside from the whole situation.
Okay.
My thing is, now they're celebrities. I saw a thing today, and I started reading, and it was pissing me off. It was like Mila Kunis and some other celebrity. So their celebrities are trying to petition. They have an open letter to these places where this book and this movie is available. First of all, is Mila Kunis Jewish? Isn't she Russian or Ukrainian or something?
I don't think she's Jewish.
I don't think she's Jewish.
No.
Anyway,
I don't.
I know it doesn't matter. However,
she is super hot though.
Fuck her.
Yeah. Okay.
Fuck her.
Okay.
Because she was like, she's basically putting it all on Kyrie to get this thing canceled or get this thing taken down from everywhere. And then at the same time, I'm like, why are we taking down books and movies? Last I checked, this was fucking America, and we have freedom of press and speech.
Yeah, it's history.
All the other books that were written with about owning slaves and shit like that. There's movies. Bro, I don't even want to get into this, but there's movies that are still available that were clearly detrimental to and change the position of how white people looked at black people in America. What was the name of the fucking movie? I can't remember right now. But anyway, that shit's still available somewhere. I guarantee I could get it somewhere.
Yeah, no, you're right. The whole.
And then I got one more thing because you were going off on your 20-minute Tom Brady joint.
I love you, Tom.
So then there was a thing on ESPN that I saw yesterday. It was talking about how I guess basically the NBA is kind of trying to backtrack, but they're trying to politically make it seem like, we're both sides are trying to work things out and blah 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 blah, and this that. So I was like, my mistake. I'm like, you know what? Let me read these comments. So I go down, I start reading the comments.
It's full of idiots, right?
And I see, no, there was some
intelligent ones.
There were some intelligent ones. And then one person was saying, what did they say? They said, they called it a hate crime. It was like, so if blah, 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 like, it's a hate crime, so he should just get away with it? I'm like, there was no crime committed, bro. He talked. He said a word. And then the guy, and I was like, last I checked, freedom of press and freedom of speech are a thing in this country.
And that it should be protected by the First Amendment.
No, it is protected by the First Amendment.
No,
it's not should be.
Well, no, but
hold on. Stop cutting me off, please.
Okay.
Because I'm losing my train of thought when you do that. Fuck. So then his comment after that was, and I didn't reply after it. It was like, so if your teacher, and I was like, first of all, motherfucker, the fact that you said my teacher, it tells me one thing about you already. You're too fucking young to be even in this conversation.
Yeah.
It was like, if your teacher called you the N-word, will you be offended? Or what do you say? He was like, oh, is that considered free speech? And I almost wrote back. I was like, yeah, it's considered free speech. However, you're still like, and it goes back to the Kanye and Kyrie thing. You are not exempt from the consequences of your free speech. So if that teacher does call me the N-word and I go up to him and punch him in his fucking face, I'm not saying I'm justified for what I did. However, there were still consequences for what that teacher did.
Yeah, for every action, there is a reaction.
And it's still, again, he has the right to say what he wants. But the consequences are the other thing. Now, part of that is sounded kind of contradictory because now he's getting accosted for having an opinion. But again, there was no actual hate speech said or spoken.
And I think we've, me and you have been alive long enough, as well as most of our viewers. And I can tell you, personally, from my perspective, I have seen my friends racially profiled. I'm sure it's happened to you, unfortunately. And I'm sure at one point in our lives, maybe even more, that we have probably seen a legitimate hate crime, like what a real hate crime is.
Oh, I've for sure seen it.
Yeah, and I have as well.
But I don't. It's not like in a civilized. It was probably more of a school setting type.
Yeah,
thing.
well, regardless of what it is, you got kids growing up. They come from families where they are taught certain things.
But I'm not even talking about the racial thing. I was talking about like sexuality. And
yeah,
well, like
yeah, but
because that's included. We don't want to act like nobody's being included in this.
So with this whole situation, I was just kind of looking at it as, as a white man. I'm looking at it and I'm sitting there thinking, I'm just like, man, why the fuck is everybody just coming for this guy's throat? He didn't call anybody any names. He didn't point any fingers. He just said, oh, hey, I watched this movie and this is what I think.
Yeah, it's just the content of what's in the movie and what people are, that I've noticed that they're harping on, not harping on, but like focusing on is the fact that the movie says, and I haven't seen the movie, so I've been trying to find it, more for research purposes, not for like, oh my God, I agree with this.
No, of course. I mean, at this point, I want to see it too.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like,
everybody
wants to see it now. The book sales for that motherfucker probably went through the roof right now. He was like, that author is like, yeah,
but isn't that crazy though? That was a form of literature, which is a very, in this day and age, which isn't really talked about. Books, literature. It's not. I mean, we have the internet, we have the access at our fingertips at all times. Mm-hmm. And with literature, I feel it's kind of not really a lost art, but something that we don't look for anymore. But this was a book way before.
First of all, I think you're wrong. A lot of people still read books.
I don't read.
You don't read books.
I don't read books, folks. I read fucking porno mags.
Way before what? What do you mean, way before what?
No, I'm just saying, if this was a book that was out way before the movie was made, and before even Kyrie made a statement.
I think the movie was made because of the book. Which
is understandable.
Usually
well, that's how that works. Yeah. I mean, shit, look at a lot of films. I mean, But regardless, it's like, where was the outrage then when people were reading it and they were talking amongst their book club and they were just like, oh, hey, well, I think there was none.
Well,
And-
it probably wasn't as popular.
Well, no,
in
obviously.
certain crowds, like a book club is not gonna fucking pick that book.
Well, you are correct about that. I don't think it's something like, hey guys, you want to
Think
read
about
about?
think about who's in book clubs. We're just talking demographics. I'm not talking anything aside from that. But think about who's in usually affluent,
Middle-aged white women.
homemakers. I didn't
Yeah.
say that. You said that. I said homemakers.
What? So, no, but you no, Jared is correct. Jared is correct. And it's like, man, if it's not one thing, it's another. It's like, why are you? And I'm not even a diehard Kyrie Irving fan. I love basketball.
That's for you, Epic.
Yeah, and shout out to that guy. You're awesome. And it just, you're right, dude. Like, we're getting to a point where it's like, okay, you can shut the fuck up about crying all the time. Like, stop crying all the time.
Look, you just came around to exactly what I started off this whole thing. It's like, fucking stop crying all the goddamn
stop crying.
time.
Like, dude, when you were a kid, when I was a kid, my dad told me a story once. When I was sitting at the kitchen table with him on a Saturday night, I remember this clear as day. We're sitting there. It's 8 p.m. Cops is coming on. That was our thing. Then America's Most Wanted. And, obviously we're watching law enforcement within these 2 hours of primetime TV. And my dad told me the story. He said, hey, man, he said, when I was this age, it was a little after he turned 18, maybe 20, 21, whatever. He said, I got arrested. This is like my dad confessing to me. He said, I got a drunk in public. I didn't know what it was at the time because I was a kid. He said, I got a drunk in public. He said, I got taken to jail. And I was like, what did you do? I'm obviously fascinated by the whole story. I was like, Dad, you were in jail? Because I'm watching the guys on Cops and they're spitting on him and smoking crack and all sorts of other shit. And he said, well, I got drunk. And he said, I got one phone call. He said, I called my dad, my grandfather. And obviously you've never met either of them, but my grandfather was a very no-nonsense motherfucker, like just in every sense of the word. He planted flowers, though.
Old school.
Super old school. I mean,
okay.
So he said, I called my dad. Said, hey, Dad, I got arrested. I'm in the drunk tank. Can you come pick me up? And my dad was like, my grandfather was like, yeah, I'll come down and get you. He left my dad there for 2 days. Okay.
Wait, why was he there for 2? How come he couldn't?
He was there for a day. Basically, my grandfather said, hey, no problem, son. I'll come get you. And he just left him there because my grandfather was like, well, you fucking did it. Don't come crying to me about it.
Yeah,
learn your lesson, pretty much. And so my dad said, after that, he said, I never got arrested again because my dad thought he was feeling sorry for himself. He said, oh, Dad, I made a mistake, blah, blah, blah. He was like, well, my grandfather was like, well, I'm teaching you the consequences of your actions. So he left him there.
Yeah, you made it sound way more harsh than it actually was.
I don't know. Hearing it as a kid, I was just like,
yeah,
he
you're
left
fucking
you
5 years old.
Well, yeah, I love my grandpa too. It's like, Grandpa left you in jail.
Well, yeah, if you're a kid, bro, like you look at cops and you see people going to jail, it's like, oh my god,
yeah,
they're the fucking worst people on the planet.
They're looked at as the scum of the earth, dude.
Yeah.
They're looked at the worst people. But
this
knowing my
goes
dad
into other things.
Yeah.
The war on drugs and all that shit.
Yeah. So, knowing my dad, I'm like, dude, obviously I love my dad, head to toe. But it's like, I know my dad. My dad's not a bad guy, but, he made a mistake and he had to suffer the consequences for it. But my grandfather was just like, hey, you know what? I guess because my dad was still young, he was like, hey, well, I ain't going to put up with that shit.
He's forever young.
And he left him there. And eventually he got out and all that, and whatever the case may be. But the whole crying part, people not getting their way, dude, I don't get my...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I think that's, you know what, this is why you're on the show.
Dude,
you figure out the best ways to simplify the fucking crazy shit that's going on in my head.
Yeah, dude, but look, man,
because, hold on. Thank you. We need a little breath from RJ for a second.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm running out of lava.
Of what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're running out of fucking fake air.
It is fake air. Flavored air. I like
fake
to call
flavored
it.
air.
There we go.
So yeah, it basically that's what this whole society, and this is what I've been thinking about. And that sums it up. It's like motherfuckers just need to stop fucking crying and handle their fucking shit.
Yeah, Put on your big boy pants, big
Or
girl
big
pants,
girl pants.
Yeah.
Your in between or whatever you want to call them pants.
When I was a manager, obviously working with high school kids, I work with people from all over the world. I worked with some incredible people, and they
put a
taught me a lot.
soundbite on here. That says, "Cue the pizza story."
Well, yeah, I mean, it's fine, but I used to have one of my assistant managers. He's a wonderful kid. I love him to death. He was so mopey all the time. He was depressed every way you could think of. And one day he came in and he sat in the office and I was sitting there. We weren't really busy. And he was telling me, and I looked over at him and I said, "Hey, man," I said, "don't you get tired of being sad all the time?" He said, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Dude, don't you realize every time you come into my office, you tell me something bad?" And he was like, then he sat there for a second. He was like, "Well, I don't mean to." I was like, "I know you don't mean to." I said, "Well, let me tell you this." And he didn't know this about me at the time. I said, I lost my father when I was young. I said, my mother had to raise me, who didn't know what the fuck was going on. I've been bullied. I've been beat up. I've been robbed. I've been almost shot. I've lived kind of an eventful life. And I said, I don't let that bother me.
Fucking 50 Cent over here.
Yeah. I don't know if I was going to be shot or the person next to me.
I'm joking.
I'm just saying.
Jesus.
But I looked at him. I said, "You don't think that stuff bothers me?" I was like, "It does." I said, "But dude, it's over with. It's not happening anymore." I said, "I don't like it." I said, "But I have things that I have to do. I have to come to work every day. I have to make a paycheck. I have to make a living." I said, "Sometimes I don't even want to be here listening to you." Because, and I said that to him.
No, that's true. That's facts.
No, and
he probably needed to hear that. It was like, oh, wait. Again, this goes back to what I was saying. He didn't realize you got shit going on, too.
Yeah, which is fine because he's a kid. I get it.
Yeah.
And he said, "No, boss." He said, "It's not like that." And I said, "Listen, man," I said, "you're always welcome to come and talk to me whenever you're having a bad problem." I said, "I just want you to stop feeling sorry for yourself all the time." I said, "It's not going to do you any good, man." I said,
Change your mindset.
I said, "You're a smart kid." I said, "Look, man, you came from overseas. You barely spoke a lick of English.
And neither do you.
Currently, no." I said, you're graduating a prestigious high school in Edison, and we can all have,
Okay, I'm going to backtrack you on that one. Relax on the prestigious thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
Birds fly, hawks soar, motherfucker.
It's just like any other Fairfax County fucking public school. So relax.
But I was like, "Look, man, you have an education." I was like, "You're smart. You're talented with even outside of work." I said, "You're smart with this." I said, "Why are you upset?" He said, "Well, this, and that." I said, "I get it, man." I said, "I get sad sometimes too," and I do, and I have no problem sharing that with anybody, whether it's you, whether it's on the podcast, or whether we're sitting at a bar. I have no problem expressing my feelings. But the last thing that my dad would want me to do is sit around feeling sorry for myself all day. He told me as a kid, if I didn't get what I wanted, I would sit. If I didn't get what I wanted,
well, that's how
children are.
Yeah.
But a lot of these adults are acting like children.
That's 100% what it is, because again, they weren't told that. Like, look, pull your fucking panties up, you little bitch. Let me put it on me. Like, pull your fucking panties up, you little bitch, and that goes which either way. That's a unisex term right now.
You little bitch.
Pull your fucking panties up and fucking keep it moving.
Yeah, just keep it moving, dude. And trust me, I've been one to sulk in my own sadness on my own time. I think we all do it. I think sometimes it's healthy to kind of do that in terms of reflecting, as long as you're smart enough to take yourself out of it. Some people do not. And I understand mental health is, I can't speak today.
Here's another thing I was thinking about as far as mental health. It was about the Kanye thing. And I was thinking to myself, I would like to have the confidence of a super successful person, like Tom Brady or Kanye.
Oh, yeah, I'd put my dick on the table all the time if I did. No, well, I speak, and the views of RJ are not the views of Jared
not at all.
On the Mad Scientist Lab podcast.
But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, there's a certain point when that confidence becomes delusion. And I think that's what happened with Kanye. Like, he was very confident. He believed in himself. That's the thing. Like, that's what it started. The thought started from me believing in myself and being able to do certain things. And then I started thinking, I was like, yeah, like Kanye. Then I started thinking, I'm like, yeah, but if you go too far past a point, then you're fucking delusional. And then that delusion is projecting crazy to the world.
Yeah.
So there has to be a fine line, and it sounds cliche, but like you got to find a balance. And
Oh yeah, no, of course. I mean, if you're walking around with all sorts of confidence and ego and all this, something.
Don't put confidence and ego in the same thing.
Okay,
so two different things.
Okay, so if I'm walking around with a ton of confidence all day,
Mm-hmm.
and eventually I'm so overly confident that where it's diminishing others, okay, not intentionally, but obviously those people feel some type of way or whatever the case. But that can go kind of hand in hand.
That's where the haters come from. But
Yeah.
that's because again, that's going on. What's going on in those people's minds.
But put it this way: if I was overly confident and I overstepped my boundaries and I thought nothing was wrong with what I did, that's when it becomes a problem.
But that's what I'm saying. But you can't keep questioning. You can't question everything you do, because then then you
won't do anything.
Yeah, you won't go anywhere.
But
yeah,
it's one of those things where I look at it, and confidence is a wonderful thing. It's good for everybody. It's good for all of us.
I think you're conflating confidence with arrogance.
I mean, do you not think they can go hand in hand with certain things? Like,
I
to
think
an extent?
there's a fine line between the two.
Okay.
Actually, there's a gray area between the two.
Okay.
Because sometimes you got to be arrogant. Like, motherfucker, I'm applying for a job, and they offer me however much money. I know I'm worth way more than that, and I know that other people in the industry are getting paid way more than that. That's arrogance, and like, who the fuck do you think you are gonna offer me this bullshit? Yeah, I'm gonna give them a counter offer and be professional about it.
Yeah, of course.
But it's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Like, you gonna sit here and I know you're a business, but you're not gonna lowball me, homie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's arrogance. But that's also confidence in the fact that I know I've done my due diligence already. And
so do you think arrogance is I don't want to use the word repercussion, is a symptom of confidence?
No, that's what I was saying. Arrogance and confidence, they're cousins.
They're related.
Yeah. You can't have confidence. You cannot not have confidence. How does that doesn't even sound right. You cannot have confidence.
No, all right.
And accomplish things at a high level.
Of course.
You also can do that if you're arrogant, but then you won't be well liked.
Yeah, no. Actually, that's actually correct. I agree with that. I understand exactly what you're saying. So to the bulk and the meat of everything that we've been talking about is that if you are upset or feel a certain type of way or feel that you're owed something, I'm owed something. Jared's owed something.
Oh, I'm owed a whole lot.
Yeah, a shitload. I'm sure your mom, your dad, we are all owed something, and sometimes we may never get it, and that is just a fact of life, and you cannot escape it. You cannot go around it. Even if you put it this way, I think Jadakiss said it best, and I'm not going to use this word, but why do brothers always want what they can't have? You know what I'm saying? Because the need and the desire to feel like there's somebody in somebody's life in some way, shape, or form. You do not. Dude, people want to feel important because their everyday lives are so boring, okay? So they're like, oh, hey, I can make a fuss about this, or I can make a fuss about that, just to feel some sense of entitlement.
All right, let me turn that around on you real quick.
That's fine.
Just this conversation in general, what is that? How does that make us feel that we're more important than other people?
No, dude, I just want people to, at the end of the day, I feel like feel like Dr. King, man. Can't we all just get along, dude? You know, I don't fault.
That wasn't Dr. King, by the way.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
that wasn't what. That was one of the kings,
Yeah.
but it wasn't Dr. King.
So as I just butcher Black history here on the Black, I was about to say the Black Scientist Lab podcast on the Mad Scientist Lab podcast. This is why Jared is probably my only African American friend.
This motherfucker said Dr. King said, "Look at we all just get along."
I am disappointing all our friends that watch this show.
That motherfucker was never a doctor. Do you know? You know who really said that?
I feel like I'm sure I know.
You're gonna feel stupid when I say it.
Okay, go ahead, hit me.
It was Rodney King.
Rodney King really said that.
Rodney King said, "Can't we all just get along?"
Oh my God.
You want me to look it up?
No, you don't need to look it up. I just feel like I know.
I need everybody to know, though.
Pull it up for the fans' sake. And as somebody who has grown up in a predominantly just African American culture, I apologize.
Now, this motherfucker said he grew up in Wakanda.
Dude.
What the fuck?
Rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. Wakanda forever.
You
baby.
see how I brought that around?
Yeah, so
He said he grew up in Wakanda and shit. Fuck out of here.
My bad, by the way, and I will never speak on this again. I won't speak on spices, flavor of anything. I'm going to eat dry rice after this podcast ends. I'm not even going to put butter in it. I'm just going to eat it bland, just to let me know that I am still white.
Look at this shit.
Dude,
as soon as I hit it, I even typed it exactly.
dude, his name is in big letters. Rodney King. Oh, my. Okay, folks, this is the portion of the show where I take my glasses off. And I learned myself some Black history. Okay.
This is not one we're proud of. I'll tell you right now.
I apologize immensely. So, since I'm just embarrassing myself publicly and on the internet,
it's fine. It's educational purposes.
It's all good. So I just got a new desk at work. Okay.
What the fuck? How you go from Rodney King,
Hold on. This
LAPD beating down the black man, to that?
Hey, listen. This is going someplace good.
Those riots were wild too, by the way.
You know, watching him back on TV, because I've seen obviously a lot of documentaries on that. I didn't realize he was. Oh my God.
He was the one that said, because I think it was after.
Was it during the trial, or
I think it was right before the trial. Like, he had just got out of the hospital. He was still beat the fuck up, and I think his lawyer probably said that. I don't remember when he said it, but it has something to do with all that shit.
Yeah, which given the scenario, because at the time, I mean, even nowadays, dude, you think it was bad in '91? Imagine if something like that happened now. Oh wait. It still does.
It did happen.
It still does.
It happened during a pandemic, matter of fact.
So, no, I was going to...
Actually, there was a couple that went during that time.
Which is awful,
The whole world was watching. You can't do shit like that when everybody is not doing a fucking thing.
It's terrible. It's terrible. But I got this new desk at work, and I have all this empty space, right? So I've been joking with people at work. I said, hey, I'm going to get a little fake plant. You know, I want to decorate my desk, right?
I can tell you where to get a fake plant.
That's fine. And I will buy one. But then they were like, oh, you should put a picture up. I was like, yeah, I'm going to get a picture of family that's not mine. And then I thought of you, believe it or not.
I would do that.
Dude, I'm going to do that. But then I was like, what if I, all fun purposes, I was like, what if I get a picture of like an African-American family and just put them on my desk, right? One, I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah, don't go that far.
No, I wouldn't. But I was like, wouldn't that be kind of funny? And I know a lot of people would think like.
Now you could, what you could do is find one similar and Photoshop your face into one.
So what I'm going to do for Christmas, so I'm going to give out a gift.
Don't give me that.
I'm not giving it to you. Okay. I already know what I'm getting you for Christmas. All right. I actually knew this like months ago, believe it or not.
Means I got to buy something. Okay.
You don't have to really. Nah, dude, you got to buy me shit. And it's nothing crazy, I promise. But I was sitting there and I was thinking, I was just like, hey, you know what my uncle did one time? He, so if you go into anybody's home, that invites you in and you use their restroom, some people will decorate their bathrooms. My aunt, my uncle, they live a good lifestyle. So they've got, their bathroom decorated. It's got the nice hand.
I think you should decorate your bathroom. At least have something so people, when they're taking a shit, they can look at it.
Yeah. So this is, but they are nice enough to have a little magazine tray.
But.
So they have a little magazine tray with a couple magazines, okay, for guests that come over.
What kind of magazines are they?
Just regular, like People's Digest, just fucking, I'm not saying like the National Enquirer or anything.
I would have Hustler in mine.
That's fine, but I have a family. They have children.
Penthouse.
Oh, I'd have a ton of porno mags in my shit. Porno mags are... I want to talk about that afterwards.
Okay.
So anyway, one year, my uncle...
You're watching this and holding a baby? Jeez Louise.
So one year, my uncle, what he did to fuck with my aunt, he bought an issue of Time magazine, Sexiest Man of the Year, and I don't know who was on the cover, but he photoshopped his face on it, and he didn't tell her, and he left it in the bathroom. So when she went in to go to the bathroom...
Wait. What was the picture again?
It was he photoshopped his face on whoever the Sexiest Man of the Year was on Time magazine, and he didn't tell her. He just left it in the bathroom, like in the magazine tray. So when she went in there, did her business and whatever, she'd pick up the magazine, and his face is on the cover. So for Christmas, I'm doing the same thing, and I'm giving it to 2 people.
I better not be one of them.
I'm not giving you a picture of me because I know
why don't you just do that for your picture on your desk?
You are the smartest man.
Shut the
Dude,
fuck up.
I swear to God,
man.
the reason that we do this podcast is because I use the left side of my brain.
Do you?
I don't know what I do. I know I've been looking forward to this show all week because of everything that's occurred, and I was just like, where's Jared? I was like, I got to talk to Jared. I was like, wait, podcast gold. I'm
you
saying
ain't even been out, motherfucker.
I've
been out too.
No, I haven't really been out. I did go out last night. I did have 3 beers. I left really early, and
he's telling me like he's checking in with his parole officer.
Well, I'm just telling you because I think obviously last week everybody, especially my gaming buddies, I love you guys. They were the bulk of my communication during Sober October. I talked to them every day. And then November comes and they're like, RJ, you going to be back on the sauce? I was like, nah, man. I was like, I'm going to go out and have a drink. They're like, you're back on the sauce, aren't you? So after last week's episode, I do no justification for myself because I was sauced. Mm-hmm. But they're the guys that I talk to the most. So what I wanted to do and what I am doing currently is, what is today, the 12th of November? Yeah. So I've been out 3 times since the start of the month. Okay. Every other day, I went home and I treated it like Sober October. And I was completely comfortable with it. I had no problem with it whatsoever. One day I was like, you know what? I would like a beer after work. Went up, had a beer or 2, and I just went about my way. I didn't go in. I didn't pound shots. Not that we really don't even do that, to be honest with you.
I don't really.
Yeah, we don't do that. I think a lot of people get the misconception because me and Jared do like to drink, and we are fortunate enough to have some fancy bottles provided by not only us, but, our good friend, John, who will not be mentioned on this show. And I was completely okay with it. So I went out last night. I had my few beers, and I came home, and I was happy. I woke up. I wasn't hungover. I wasn't tired. I wasn't groggy. I wasn't this. And then I was able to go about my Saturday like a normal human being, a functioning adult, instead of just laying in my bed all day, complaining and filled with regret or whatever the case may be. And I enjoyed my day. And then after I ran all my errands and it was 3:30, 4 o'clock, I said, hey, I got about an hour or so before we do the podcast. Let me stop in. Let me have a drink, and do that. And I'm okay with that. And I'm actually very comfortable with what I've done. And I'm very proud of, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of myself. And I think we've done a lot, in the last month in terms of maturing, in terms of the way our minds look at things. Because before I came over, I was talking to a good friend of mine, very neighborly, I should say. And I said, hey, let me ask you something. And this is somebody who I know I trust. And I know I could say anything to, and she will not judge me whatsoever. I said, hey, one of the reasons I don't like being here is because this, and that. And she looked me dead in my face, and she said, you know what, RJ? She said, I feel the same way. She said, if you have some sort of peace in your life, don't share it with everybody, because all they're going to do is try to remove it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And
that happened to me Thursday night when I was out. Matter of fact,
and I just sat there and I thought, and I was like, look, I said something in the confidence of my friends, or obviously I was having a very bad day. And then a couple days later, I go out, none of these people are around, and somebody comes up to me and says, hey, did you say this? And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, I said this around the people I trust to at least let me vent to them. Not that I got to tell them my life story, but now I got to explain myself to somebody else who wasn't even around. And it's just like, why am I doing that? Why are people like that? It just stinks.
I think you gotta just choose who you.
No, and that's and that's something that I know, but I obviously in the state of mind I was in.
No, I know that. I'm just saying the way what you said, because now I'm thinking about. Yeah, you just gotta pick and choose. Yeah, exactly. Whoever that person was, they said they were the right thing.
Yeah, and that is somebody who I trust dearly. She is super awesome and
but
happy.
This is also why I kind of stay. A lot of people probably think they know I'm standoffish. But if I feel like
I tell people that all the time.
If I feel like
co-host.
If I feel like they're, I don't know. If I feel like you're gonna fuck my piece up, I'm not fuck. I don't want you even like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
I give you the what's up. I'm not gonna be rude.
No, but
don't expect me
an
to.
adult.
Don't expect me to come and fucking
pour your heart out.
Yeah,
and all
nah.
And I think that after the first week or the first day, we go back into the bar setting. I know that you went out more casually than I did to hang out to get, some social interaction, which is fine. I'm
in the house all fucking day.
But then I was sitting there and these people were talking next to me and I'm somewhat listening to them. And then I think to myself, I'm like, man, weren't you complaining about that a month ago? Or just, or whatever the case it is. It's just like, let it go, man. And then they come up and they ask me a ton of personal questions. And I'm like, wait. Well, they were polite. They were like, hey, how have you been? How's sober? I mean, they weren't rude to me. I said, it was good. I said, I feel good about myself. I've been sleeping better. I've been eating better. I've just been, and I already eat a lot to begin with, and I just felt overall better about myself as an individual. And they're like, well, what's going on with this? And it's like, why the fuck are you asking me that? That is, I did not bring it up. I do not want to talk about.
I feel like I know who you're talking about. Because this happened to me Thursday night, and it was something that was coming up, and I tried in my own brain not to let it affect me, because it was like, all right, dog, like, what is your point here? What exactly is your point here? Are you just doing this? Are you doing this to, at a certain point, it makes you think, are you doing this to be manipulative and, for lack of a better word, conniving?
Yeah.
Because you don't have anything going on in your own fucking life?
I really think that's what it is.
Or are you just a fucking piece of shit, dumb person who don't know what the fuck you're talking about half the time?
No, I believe it's the first more than the latter, to be honest with you.
Which is probably worse.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I was sitting there and I'm thinking to myself, and I'm just like, you know what, man? I understand why. And I think it's kind of funny, our squad chat, our group of friends, our buddies that we see all the time that,
Yep.
We don't really see a whole lot of them anymore, No,
I think
well, life happens. Don't get me wrong. Life happens, which is fine. Like, I'm not knocking that whatsoever.
People grow and
move out of that.
Not everybody is growing in the same direction,
which is fine. And one of our fellow squad members, this was maybe 2-3 months ago, maybe even longer. I drove him home. Awesome guy. I love him to death. I looked him dead in his face the moment I pulled up in front of his house, because he doesn't come out very often at all. I said, hey, man, I asked him, I said, how do you do this? I said, how do you just be the homebody? How do you just not come out at all? He said, well, let me tell you this. He said, RJ, first and foremost, look me dead in my face, and he's very polite to everybody and all this. He said, I don't like people. He said, people disturb my peace. He said, what I can do, he said, I have control of certain things in my life. And he said, when I do have control of them, he said, and I'm learning how to manage them, this, and that. And this is, just kind of a brief overview, not word for word. But he said, I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place in my life. He said, I'm happy where I am. He said, why the fuck would I want to go and hang out with some miserable ass people? He said, all it's going to do is take away from me and what I'm trying to do. He said, you can do the same thing. He said, but do you want to? I said, I don't mind. I said, but I feel like the FOMO in me. I said, I feel like I'm missing out. He said, dude, what the fuck are you missing out on? He said, talking to the same people, this, and that. He said, so what? He said, it's not a big deal, man.
That's why I don't go as much as I do. A lot of times it's not even, when I'm going to said place or wherever I'm going, I'm not really going for anybody else.
No, I know that. I understand that. And even when I go over there, I don't go over there for anybody in particular, except for maybe like Saturday afternoons. But I go there because our friends are there. I know that you're there. I know that we can collectively sit around and argue about the dumbest shit in the world. But at the same time, he said, hey, man, he said, I save more money doing this. He said, I take better care of myself doing this. He said, trust me. He said, I know you can do it. I said, I don't know how to do it. He said, oh, man. He said, it's really not that hard. He said, I promise.
You fucking did it last month.
Yeah, I did. And I had no problem with it.
I know.
And 2 weeks in, I thought of that conversation, and I was like, oh, so-and-so was right. I mean, it's really not difficult, but I've been in such a go mode for so long with, I got to be out. I gotta watch the World Series.
It's habit breaking. That's all it is.
I got to watch a World Series with the cheating Astros and Bryce Harper, who lost. I got to, you're right. Sometimes I do find an excuse to go out and have a drink.
Well, and we all do, but I think now, I think you recognize, I'm making an excuse just to go drink.
It's not all. I mean, I like being out, but sometimes I don't like being out. I think I
stretch. I'm sorry.
It's all right. Jared is stretching, folks, and while he is stretching, you should stretch your fingers and your just your fingers, to be honest with you, and hit that like button. You should hit that comment button and then use
the follow button if you're on Twitch.
Oh yeah, follow that too, and use your fingers to type in a nice little review. Maybe leave us a comment. Tell us how handsome we are, because we are. And you should do that because every Monday, the show goes live on YouTube. Well, I wouldn't say live, but it is available on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, and anywhere you can get your podcasts, okay? So please just let your friends know. Be like, hey, I know these guys, and they talk about some pretty cool shit. Would you like to listen to them? They probably will. Hey, both of these guys who are handsome are single.
There's a follow button, and there will be a subscribe button soon enough. If we can ever get to fucking 3 average viewers, move that bottle.
Oh, well, it's almost done anyway, so it's...
that doesn't mean it has to stay there.
So, but I just couldn't believe... I mean, I could. I mean, it didn't surprise me, but it's like, man, dude, I haven't been out forever. I know people want to talk to me. I know people want to say hi to me, and I'm completely okay with that. I'm a very outgoing person. I have a lot of friends or acquaintances or whatever. I don't mind shooting the shit with you, even if I see you once a month. I have no problem. We can talk about whatever. But when somebody comes up to me, no matter who it is, after not seeing you for a while, and then you get in my personal business, which is something I don't really talk about, then it's like, you know what? I don't need to share that with you. You know, if I'm open about it, put it this way. Say...
It's not even just sharing. For me, if I share something with you...
Oh, it's staying with me to the grave.
I'm not talking about you. I'm saying in general. You as in general people.
The general populace.
If I share something with you and then you give it to the world, however that is, then we have a problem.
Oh, it's a very big problem. I 100% agree.
And I'm probably not gonna fuck with you for very long, if at all, anymore.
Well, you can't because, obviously, dude, I know we've been adults for a long time, okay? Like, we're not children anymore. I mean, we grew up a long time ago. The fact is that I understand people are going to talk, people are going to gossip, people are going to obviously have opinions. And again, going back to our I got no problem with what anybody says about me when I'm not around, or like, they don't live my life, they don't know me, they don't know what I feel, whatever. Only what I share is what you know, okay? Like, I could put it this way, I could wake up in the morning and I could go to Burger King for breakfast, okay? Which is not something I do, by the way. And then I could come out and sit down. They're like, hey, RJ, what'd you do today? Did you eat lunch? Or did you eat breakfast? I'd be like, yeah, I went to McDonald's. I could just fabricate my entire day. They know nothing about it unless it's something that I tell them. So I could be fucking fabricating a whole lot of shit. You never know. But people will take with what you say and they will fucking run the whole mile. Like, you give somebody an inch, they'll take a whole mile. So it's not what you say, it's how you say it and who you say it around. And it's unfortunate, but we're adults, and adults should not be acting like children. I am far from it sometimes.
Well, unfortunately, RJ, you don't have a choice in whether or not adults are acting like a child.
Oh, no.
If they're childish, then they're just childish.
I understand that. I'm not trying to save the universe, okay, by any means.
Sounds like it.
No, I'm not at all.
Save yourself, my friend.
Well,
this goes back to what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Like
just be your own piece. I feel like I'm reciting some meme I see on Facebook. But seriously, be your own piece. I was completely happy, being at home, coming home, seeing my family, seeing my cat who almost murdered me the other night, and I'll get into that in a second.
Will we?
Yeah, but damn, are we that far in?
Bruh.
We've been going for a while?
126 right now.
Really?
Yes.
Damn, dude, I came with the fucking ammunition today.
Did you?
I feel confident, not arrogant.
Oh my god!
And what I'm saying. So here, I'll. But knowing that, thank you. But I had a lot of enjoyment out of it because it's like, you know what? I don't really do this enough. Yeah, there are days where I get bored. But before we kind of wrap things up, the one thing that I would like you to do, if you don't mind, and I would like all of you to do, if you can, if you have the capacity of doing it, please, for the sake of RJ, please play God of War Ragnarock.
Oh, my God.
It is absolutely fucking masterful. What a game. It is a treat to gamers. It is something that is on par with Red Dead Redemption.
You told someone on Facebook earlier who doesn't even fucking game to play that game earlier.
Actually, that's one of her favorite games.
Oh, I didn't know.
No, I would never, and she is so awesome, by the way, I would never leave a comment on her page unless I knew for a definitive fact that that's what, dude, I knew this like she was talking to me about something. She was like, yeah, like this, and I was like, oh, you like God of War? I was like, that's awesome. Because Kratos is badass, dude. And when I was playing it, and granted, I'm only 2.5 hours into the game, but it is it's just, it's a work of art. It really is. And any gamer should experience it, whether you're Sony, Xbox, or Microsoft, Nintendo, PC, whatever. God of War Ragnarock is absolutely incredible. Graphically, music-wise, just the whole atmosphere. It is a treat to gamers.
It's never gonna happen, Epic. Never gonna happen.
No, it won't.
He said, "Get him to put it on the box, and we'll talk."
Well, I mean, it's a Sony exclusive. One of the biggest reasons I still keep my PlayStation is for games like this. This is a true gem of a video game. I am not even, and you guys can say I'm crazy or I'm gassing it up. Go play it. It is one of those games where you sit there and you're like, wow. And I am so looking forward to binging it tomorrow after the Steelers.
Let me borrow your copy. Oh, wait, we can't do that anymore.
I could probably share it to you.
Can you?
Dude, I can share games on it. I wouldn't see why I could. No, let me see when I...
You can share games with other people?
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, a lot of my buddies do it. Like so say I buy a game, I might need access to your console, like some of the information to trade it with you. But yeah, a lot of my buddies, they kind of take turns. The one will buy the game.
I mean, that makes sense because like
it's called game share.
No, I
know.
get obviously.
Duh.
But that makes sense because like when I was growing up playing games, that's what we would do. We would, hey, let me borrow this game. Let me borrow this game.
Oh, yeah. Oh, trading games. I will say I used to do that a lot with a lot of the guys I went to school with, and
I hated doing it because sometimes you don't.
You don't get your shit back. Trust me, I've been there. I've been there with a couple games.
And they're good. They're the best ones too. It's like fuck.
Well, I actually used to give a lot of my games to a little kid, and I was cool with his older brother, and he kept them for so long. And after a while, I was like, "Hey, man, is your brother ever going to give me my shit back?" He was like, "Oh, I got you, RJ." And eventually, they brought it back. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things where I agree. You know, you get your disc, you're happy with it, your physical copy. But I'm almost positive I could probably share this with you digitally somehow. So let me kind of look into it. But it is definitely something that everybody should play and experience, not for the game, but for the work of art that it is. It is a work of art, and I'm very happy with even the smallest bit of it because I was a fan of the last one. I've been a fan of the series since I was in high school. But these games are very masterfully made. So please, if you can, play God of War Ragnarock. Awesome game. Super.
Wrap it up, B.
So, wrap it before you tap it. It's a good motto. So,
wrap it up.
Wrap it up. So, I'm going to wrap it up, folks, and I'm going to do it very extremely right now. I didn't mean to do that. I won't do that again, folks. I'm sorry. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. We are live every Saturday at 6 p.m.-ish, and you can follow us on Twitter, Twitch. You can follow us on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube. We're everywhere, folks. How do you not know
Pandora
about the Mad Scientist Lab podcast? Not only the best podcast in the area, I would say...
shit, I don't even know, bro.
I would say the best podcast on the East Coast, possibly the globe. All right? We're really popular in India, by the way. So, folks, please have a very good weekend. To all our veterans, thank you for serving this country honorably.
That day's over.
It is over, but still, I just want to say thanks. Oh, you're here.
22nd. November 22nd.
So November, what day is that?
Tuesday.
November 22nd is Shoot Your Shot open mic comedy night down at Shooters in Springfield. There's a lot of S's in there. Come down. If you think you're funny, if you can make Jared laugh, I'll give you $1. I'll buy you a beer.
It's hard.
It's very difficult. He sits in my car, and I fart in it all the time without him knowing.
No, that's not a clue.
Wait,
what? Oh,
yeah, so anyway. So if you can make Jared laugh, I'll give you $1, I'll buy you a beer, and then I might give you a hug.
Okay, I'm tired of you talking today.
All right.
Relax. Stop. Possibly the 29th, we may have a new show coming up. I will, this is a different location, but I will get further details, but I want to put it out there just in case. So, yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, like, share, comment, subscribe, be safe, and we will see you guys next week. Throw up the bat signal for our man out there.
Let's throw up the splash screen so RJ can stop talking for the day.
I am done talking.
So hard,
Love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
Ever.
Audio Skulls all day.
The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The merit scientist